Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Rowland. I'm here guest hosting for Carlos Juarez on Global Connections. We have an exciting group of people here today with us. We're going to be talking about how we globally connected at our local hackathons. Let me go down the line here real quick, get people introduced so we can get things started. On my immediate left here, Sandra Moerch, Eddie Chen,
hello,
Tiffany Lee.
Hi.
Our story is one of having a lot of fun. We had the idea last year to do some hackathons, and it came up very quick. We had a 2 weeks notice, and we did the Women's International Hackathon. And Sandra, you were involved in that, right?
I was
You helped?
involved in the Women's Hackathon, yes.
You won
Through
it?
Challenge Boston. Yeah, I won it. And it was a lot of fun, thank you. And basically, we built a product during one day, which was different compared to the one we just ran, where it was over 2 days. And we made an amazing product for the Nature Conservancy here in Hawaii.
You know, I've heard that you have some experience in hackathons and things. Can you give us a little background on not only yourself, but your involvement in events like this and what they are and what they mean to you? And
So I'm very involved in the startup community in Hawaii, and I've participated and mentored in some of the startup weekends and Startup Weekend Honolulu. I've participated in 3 of those, and I came in second place.
what does it
once.
mean to participate in those?
It means that you bring your skill. So for me, usually I participate as a designer, and you can participate as a business person, and you can participate as a developer. And the business person is usually the one that comes with the idea. And then that person has to pitch their idea and get people attracted to the idea and form teams around the idea. And he or she can only succeed if they get a team involved during the weekend that builds the idea. So, and it's definitely.
How many people did you have per team typically in these events?
Typically it's like 3, 4, 5. The last one I did, we were a team of 8 people, so that was very different from what I've done before. And it was really cool, but there were definitely, a lot of communication, so that takes up a lot of resources as well. And when you're 8 people collaborating.
Have these people typically worked together before, or is this all
No,
brand new?
usually you're just, newly acquainted when you come, and the reason you meet people is because you're all attracted to the same idea. So you go towards the idea that you're attracted to, and that's how you form your team. And yes, it's really a unique experience because you meet so many people that are like-minded, and they have a vision of wanting to make a positive impact on the community by participating in events and using their spare time on events like these. So it's really, really, really good for the community.
Excellent, excellent. Tiffany, you
Yes.
participated in the Women's Hackathon too, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
You
Yeah.
want to give us a little information on your background and what you thought about that?
Sure. So information on my background, student at HPU, and studying in international business, getting my BSBA in international business, but also getting my MBA, which is where I met Sandra. And for the Women's Hackathon, I worked on an app with some of my peers. It was called Mentorship, and it was trying to connect different mentees with women mentors.
Cool, cool.
Yeah.
I think one thing I forgot to mention was that a lot of these hackathons are student-driven, student clubs. You mentioned the MBA program. The MBA club at HPU is a big sponsor of the hackathons. The Project Management Club, the Computer Club. Derek Hahn at the Computer Club is a big fan of hackathons and has done a lot of hard work there.
Definitely, and we can't, pull off these events without our sponsors. They're really crucial for the success of them. So this time around, we were lucky to have, the Project Management Institute, the chapter of Honolulu, sponsor our event, as well as Sultan Ventures. So that was, crucial to the success of the event.
Yes. We're leaving you out. No, sorry. No, but you represent the business side.
Yes.
In this last event, you came in and introduced an idea, and you weren't a participant, but you were the inspiration for the event. Is that fair enough? Is that?
Yeah, I'd say that. So my name is Eddie Chen, and I'm the president and COO of Laulima Medical. We are a medical device company based here in Honolulu. So right now we make a passive sensing monitor that's focused on healthcare. We are in the middle of designing our second generation version that is focused more on healthcare outside of the hospital setting, so namely nursing homes, assisted living communities, and home care. Right now, we are building a prototype designed specifically towards caregivers, giving them the capability to monitor their loved ones or patients on their smartphone or computers. So when I learned about this hackathon, I thought it was a perfect opportunity, one, to accelerate that process, and two, to really get kind of outsiders' perspectives on what they think this technology should be. So I was lucky enough to get chosen by this wonderful team, and they designed and made a product in about a day and a half that completely amazed me.
Interesting, interesting. What was your pitch like when you got there? I mean, you were one of how many businesses?
I believe five. Five. So I know our technology is cool and interesting. I just needed to provide it to the teams in a way that allowed them to add a lot of value. So right now we're in the process of changing from a purely B2B to a B2C business. So I thought, these young students, energetic with bright ideas, would have a lot of different ideas on how to make that happen. So we had three real goals of the project. One was to design and to actually build an app that was customer facing. Number two was to think of the different functionality that a system such as ours would be, how it could be used by caregivers. And then three was the actual rebranding of the product from a B2B to a B2C device.
Okay. Now, the thing that really clinched it for me on your description of what your item was the Star Trek thing. Can you?
Yeah. So going back to what the technology really
worked
is.
For me, yeah.
So we are a sensing system that basically monitors a patient's heart rate and respiratory rate without any wires or connections. And the reason that's important is compliance is a big issue in hospitals. I'm not sure if you've been in a hospital before, but typically when you're being monitored 24/7, there's a whole bunch of wires sticking out of you, on your finger, on your head, and it makes it, one, very uncomfortable, and two, the chances of those monitors coming off is relatively high. So our system is designed to basically forego all of that and to monitor the patient accurately, but without any fuss or muss, really. And it compares to, and I don't want to date myself, but the old Star Trek television show, which I'm guessing these two young ladies have never seen, the original version. There was a sickbay bed, which basically a patient would be on it and you would see their vitals without any connection. So it compares exactly to that.
Love it. I always enjoyed the sick bay scenes.
Me too.
Can we take a step backwards and talk about what was it like for you folks? You not only participated in the hackathon, but you helped to organize it and actually get it going. Can you talk a little bit about what happened, who was involved, how that worked to actually get this?
Yeah, as you
flourish?
mentioned, we were 3 clubs organizing the event along with 2 professors, one of them being yourself, and Dr. Souza from the software or computer science department. And yeah, there are definitely some challenges on the way, with bureaucracy and having things approved and, collecting sponsorships. But all in all, we all shared the same vision of wanting to make this positive impact in the community, and we found this focus on startups and young businesses, or as Laulima Medical, a business that's trying to relaunch in a different market. And that became the focus of the event, and everyone, shared the same vision for how we could make that happen and how we could create products for these companies.
Okay, so you wanted to invite businesses in.
Yeah.
And then at the same time reach out to them to kind of find some technical solution or
Definitely,
technology
that
solution.
became the focus of, wanting to create this win-win situation for not only like the contestants, but also the businesses or the solutions that we developed for the businesses. Yeah.
Do you have any comments on that, on the startup part of the project?
It was a really good opportunity to really get a good understanding of Hawana Medical, which we haven't been exposed to beforehand. And working with Sandra and also another teammate of ours is Haley Morris, who isn't here today, but we all worked together on an app called LifeBeat to really find a way to make the technology that Hawana Medical already has, but to make it more accessible, to enable it to save even more lives. We think that's really cool. And so playing around with the new technologies and different web applications to create the application was really fun. Yeah.
It's a very stimulating environment to be in. The startup process and Proto Hub, and which was the venue where
That's a good thing to mention.
yeah, where the hackathon was hosted, and all of these puzzles make the whole experience, and just having people there that have the energy and the motivation to build something, I think that's the core.
Yeah, part of the planning was actually having a location that could work for everybody. And
Yeah.
Proto Hub and the College of Business, Hawaii Pacific University College of Business, being a founding member of Proto Hub, it was kind of like a automatic, hey,
Yeah.
here's
Yeah.
it's like having a clubhouse to go play in.
Yeah.
And, so they opened their doors to us basically almost, well, somebody wanted to go 24/7, but we went.
Yeah, we had a
Just
very
9 to
dedicated
6.
hacker that wanted
Yeah.
to stay overnight, but unfortunately they close at 8, so.
So it was fun. It was fun. How about the food?
I missed my my order on my food, so I didn't get any because I forgot to turn in my little sheet. But
I remember that there's really good pizza, and there's vegan pizza, which is really nice for people that have alternative eating habits. Yeah.
I think it's considered automatic to have pizza at a
Yeah.
hackathon. You gotta have that, and caffeine. I think.
Yeah.
yeah, caffeine and pizza.
Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit about the day of the hackathon? I mean, what was kind of what happened, minute by minute, that took you from the very beginning, the idea? What did you do in your groups? Did you know your group was going to form ahead of time, or did it just kind of fall together?
We were very lucky that the Project Management Institute's Greta Blasch did an introductional speech about project management, and that actually really helped because we had it in the back of our minds, I think, that the planning aspect is crucial when you're trying to be ambitious with a project. So we definitely started very professionally with brainstorming and mind mapping, and then going into the technical aspects, functionality, design, and everything was just went really smoothly, I want to say. And then Tiffany came the day after because she had other responsibilities on the day that the hackathon started. But Haley and I had set up the whole planning process, and then Tiffany naturally just jumped on board and contributed with the idea generation, and added more content, added more value to the product. So
And
it became.
Oh yeah, and the way that Sandra and Haley were brainstorming, that was really neat. They were drawing on the windows, and which reflected onto the sky, and using the pictures from that really inspired the colors that we used. So just something as simple as that. That was really cool.
Yeah.
If we could take a step back, I don't think I asked this question during the hackathon, but what actually inspired you guys to pick Hawana?
Oh.
Yeah,
Good question.
that's a really good question. And for me, it was just, this technology is real. Which one of the businesses is there the greatest opportunity of actually executing and, creating something that will actually be implemented and used and will create value. And I think that for me was the biggest aspect of why I chose to work with Laulima Medical.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
We're going to take a little break here, and we'll come back
All
and
right.
continue our conversation. Thank you.
Thank
right.
you.
Awesome.
Here's the deal. I'm Jay Fidel. I'm the host of Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy, which is the Energy Policy Forum's program on Wednesday. That's how we call Wednesday Energy Wednesday. We call it Energy Wednesday every Wednesday. Are you surprised? Okay, and we try to get guys like Jim Alberts here from Hawaiian Electric who can tell us what's really going on in energy. We want to be informed. It's so important. It's the most important initiative in our state. Clean energy is major, okay? And that's why we cover it on this show. That's the deal. What do you think, Sharon?
I think that's great. That's why we're here every Wednesday from 4 to 5, and we hope you all join us so we can hear people like Jim coming on our show and co-host Ray Starley from Hawaii Energy.
Okay, Jim, you've been here today. You've seen this. You heard what she said. What do you think?
I think it's a tremendous opportunity for people to come together and talk about the issues. Oftentimes, there isn't a good forum to bring these key issues out into the public, and this is a tremendous way to go about it. And the activity of this show is essential to keep talking about energy because, as you said, it's such an essential part of our lives that we need to pay attention to it and we need to think about the future.
Okay, Ray, your turn.
Well, this is a special time in the history of Hawaii where we're making some pretty radical changes in the way we use energy and generate energy. And this show is the one place you can count on coming to every Wednesday and hearing something about the latest issues that are on the table, being discussed, that will affect us all going forward. So come join us, and if you have some ideas you want to share with us about energy, give us a call and let us know. We'll put you up here and let you talk for an hour. So come see us.
Thanks, Ray. Thanks, Sharon. Thanks, Jim. It's great to be, from ThinkTech's point of view, it's great to have this show. We love the show. It's our most important show. So come around and listen to us 4 to 5 on Wednesday. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Aloha.
Hello.
Well, we're back. I'm Larry Rowland. I'm sitting in for Carlos Juarez. We've got some HPU students here and Eddie Chen from Laulima Medical. I'm Larry Rowland from HPU College of Business. We're here promoting community or global connections, and one of the connections we made the last couple of weeks was connecting people via what's called a hackathon. We called it the Laulima Tech Challenge, and we had a lot of fun. We had so much fun that people thought we should be telling you all about it. So we're here today to do that. So we were talking about how the Tech Challenge got started, and my question to Sandra and Tiffany is, what particular tools were you using during this? Was it just sitting around pencil and paper? Did you pull out the laptops, email? How much contact was there with Ed? Actually, you mentioned you did some planning. How did the implementation really work out? What were the nitty-gritties of the step-by-steps?
Okay, so as far as we worked first on the application itself, and we used different tools. One of them was, I think, Sandra, what were they called?
App Inventor?
Yes, App Inventor.
That was the
main-
technology we used to develop the app.
Yeah.
We're looking into reformatting the platform though, because we are trying to meet, Laulima Medical's wish list, and one of them is that it has to be compatible with, all platforms, and we're not completely certain that App Inventor will be able to provide that kind of technology. So we're looking into other technologies such as the one that Dave recommended, the engineer with Laulima Medical.
Okay.
That's one of the really cool things about these hackathons is you could really start with an idea, build a solution, and then revise the solution to make it even better and more accessible.
Did you interact with any of the other groups that were going on or did you just pretty much stay to yourselves?
Well, because we were all working in the same space in ProtoHub, we could see what the other people were doing. And well, for me, I was going around and was sharing ideas or how you guys are doing this. But I think more towards the end is time is winding down, we're all in our own space trying to get as much done as possible.
Super focused
Mhm.
with our heads in the laptops, hacking away.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you think about your presentation from the very beginning, or did you wait till the very
Mm.
end before you put something together? Did you have someone separately doing that, or did you combine? I mean,
Yeah.
what I remember was that you guys won because you had a very comprehensive approach to your
Oh,
project.
thank
Mhm.
you.
I know number 2 is, the second place winner was Praise and Prayer.
PRPR.
PRPR.
Yeah.
And they were very technical,
Mhm.
amazingly
Yes.
technical implementation.
Mm-hmm.
But their presentation was not quite as comprehensive as your
Mm.
guys. I think that's what really won you the award was,
And Tiffany has to
How do you
take
do
a
that?
lot of credit for that because she made the movie, the elevator speech movie, about the app, explaining, you know, basically everything the app is capable of in like 1.5 minutes.
Mhm.
And that was very persuasive, like even to us, Haley and I, because we were just sitting doing it, and you know, Tiffany was finding a way to present it using, you know, the design that I supplied and the tech that Haley supplied. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
Um,
We had a really good team. We all had different strengths that played well
Mhm.
together.
Definitely.
Mhm.
you know, that's what some people were asking me before the event. They said, I don't code. That's
Mm.
not something I do.
Mm.
Will I be able to do anything at the hackathon?
And you definitely will.
And I think
Mm.
your team kind of shows that you don't need to know how to code, or, I
Mm.
mean, it was a very cross-functional team that you represented.
Mm.
It's the same principle with Startup Week in Honolulu. You come as either, you know, a business person, which can basically be anything. You know, you can be an ideator, you can be, you know, anyone as a business person. And then you can come as a developer, which is like the technical aspect, and then you can come as a designer. And they always say that the secret sauce to any great team is the combination
Oh, yeah.
of the three. Because if you have all these 3 personas, you all contribute with different values to the product and project. So
Mhm.
It's kind of a crash course in MBA right there. In
Yeah.
2 days. It sounds like a lot of what you do in the program,
Mhm.
you really get to practice and implement right there.
Yeah, and I apply our skills.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good job on that. Are you gonna, if you were going to do this kind of, if, say that you go to another hackathon
Mhm.
Yeah.
in a week or 2, how would you approach that hackathon differently from a technical standpoint than you did? What did you learn from this one that might take you not only to a hackathon, but even beyond that, in a business development kind of thing? What were the takeaways you got from this experience?
Well, for me, it'd be time management. I think more towards the end of it, we were getting more done, but also to follow up on that, me and Sandra are also doing a lot behind the scenes to make sure, especially Sandra, who's also hosting the hackathon while she was participating, like doing all these things, like really being able to manage our time a little bit better, to use our time more wisely. And in this hackathon, we had less hours than typical hackathons. And also, like, what's really cool about the Laulima Tech Challenge was that it was open to all students, any student. So we hope that, like, the idea of, like, anyone in your different fields of expertise can participate.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Definitely trying to make events like these as open as possible
Mm.
because you never know where the golden grains are. Like they can be in the MBA program at HPU, but they can might as well be at, you know, another university, another school, even high school.
Yeah.
You know, so we want to be as inclusive as possible. That was
How
the
much
goal.
interaction did you have with Ed during the implementation of your project?
So I was actually more excited to see what their inspiration would be once they knew what the constraints were or what the goal was. So I got a few emails from the ladies just kind of asking about connecting their technology with our technology. But for most of it was very hands-off. I was completely surprised at seeing what their final product was. So,
That's cool.
yeah.
Very interesting, very interesting. Are you going to sign up for any hackathons?
To offer the business problem again, or a different
Oh,
business
either
problem?
way, being a participant.
I actually would love to participate in a hackathon, to be honest. I'm an ex-MBA student myself, graduated in 07. Again, I'm dating myself, but I love these types of projects. They're always exciting, and they generate amazing intellectual just juices.
It was years ago that business plan competitions used to be
Yes.
all the rage. And I don't know if, I haven't seen that many come through lately, but hackathons seem to be filling a space there in terms of developing something, and it's happening so quickly. I mean, just 2 days to do something, rather. A business plan used to take weeks to put together, and this is an implementation almost of a mini business in 48 hours.
Very much along the lines of the lean startup or design thinking. It's just get an idea out there, get feedback, and then take it to the next level.
Very much, yeah. How much does that influence your business, the whole lean startup concepts and startup mentality?
I think with the new direction that we're going, it's very important because moving from B2B to both B2B and B2C, that feedback, especially from the consumer side, is very important. Things that you would not consider as affecting people's desirability for the product, such as the color or just where a certain box is, becomes vitally important to the decision to actually purchase the product.
Yeah, what I've been understanding is it's the learning, the cycles, the feedback is learn more about your customer.
Validation is everything.
Yeah.
Validation is key.
Yeah.
And you can't, expect to collect huge funds without validation. You really need to prove your worth before you launch. So
Well,
that's kind of cool.
For us, the first level of validation was convincing these girls to actually choose Hoana. So in that sense, that box was checked for me.
Very good, very good. As far as the number of people that participated, did you feel that there was a critical mass there in terms of the hackathon in general? Do you think it can be too small, or I've seen some very large entities, whole ballrooms full of people.
Right.
Do you see any difference? I mean, size, does that make a difference to you?
Well, there's always going to be room for improvement. We always want more attendees at the hackathon, and I feel as though for the time constraints that we were under and all the challenges that we were facing just organizing the event, there's a good turnout considering those things. Yeah, but all the issues that we stumbled upon, learning about those. So if we decide to plan maybe the third hackathon that HPU is doing, it'll be smoother and will increase the turnout. Yeah.
Good. The Proto Hub was a very nice space for that. It was large, but at the same time, it seemed to have cozy little corners that people could work in.
Little niches.
Little niches, yeah. That was, and they are moving soon, so I'm not sure where they're moving, but I hope it's as nice as the location that they've been in.
And Kaka'ako is, a very inspiring place too, because you have so many creative people around you in different co-spaces, such as Box Jelly, and so it's a cool learning environment.
We'll be right back, folks. This is Global Connections. Thank you.
Aloha, I'm Hunter Hevlin, host of Sustainable Hawaii here at ThinkTech Hawaii. You can tune in every week on Thursday at 2 p.m. to see interviews with sustainability professionals from around the state and even further abroad, learning about activities with water management, food security, waste management, and a whole host of other fascinating opportunities to get engaged with making a greener island. So if you're interested in making the transition from consuming individuals to communities of producers, check us out every Thursday.
Inspired by an ancient culture, classical Chinese dance, vigorous physicality, timeless stories, 5,000 years of Chinese music and dance, Shen Yun presents authentic Chinese culture. Coming to Blaisdell Concert Hall, May 8th and 9th. tickets at shenyun.com or call 808-792-3919.
Aloha, my name is Paul Jackson, better known as PJ, and my local interest is in sports. I have my own sports radio show at KWAI AM 1080 that you can stream live. I also have my own website, pjsportsradio.com. We have live guests in studio, and we talk about discussions and topics that everyone wants to know locally here on the islands. We cover everything from surfing to basketball to whatever's going on locally, sports-wise. We try to do our best and cover the topics in depth as much as we can. Once again, thank you for joining PJ here on Hawaii Sports Update. Mahalo.
Welcome back, everybody. We're talking about global connections here, and I think it's very interesting to find out where these people are from. We do have quite a global group here. Sandra, you're from?
I'm from Denmark, Europe, Scandinavia.
Okay. How long have you been in Hawaii?
I've been in Hawaii on and off for approximately 3 years. I came here first time around for just a study abroad semester with HPU, and fell in love with the place and the school, and decided to pursue my MBA degree in January 2014, and I will be graduating this May.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What do you think about HPU in terms of its global connections? It's the people you've met here.
It is the most diverse university in the U.S., and that definitely plays a huge role in like every project that I do, and who I hang out with. My best friends are Americans, Peruvians, Brazilians, Italians, and Japanese, and it's really a priceless experience.
Tiffany.
Yes.
Where are you from?
I'm from Texas, United States.
What part of Texas?
Part of Texas, Arlington, Texas, near
Arlington,
Dallas-Fort Worth.
Near Dallas-Fort Worth, yeah.
Yeah.
What brought you to
What brought me
Hawaii and
here?
HPU? Yeah.
Oh, well, so I've been here for 3 years, and actually when I was really young, I started pre-K and kindergarten here at Sacred Hearts, and I guess those childhood memories never washed away, so yeah, I really miss the warm weather and the warm people, so I'm back.
Okay, fantastic. And Ed, I know you've been all over the place. Can you give us a little track record of where you've been?
I am a local boy, born and raised. Went to college on the mainland in Boston, and then from there traveled to New York for a number of years, and went to business school in Chicago, back to New York, and then spent about a year in DC. So I've spent, I lost my accent, my local accent, and now it's, as I get older, I realize Hawaii is the place I want to spend the rest of my life.
Aww. That was good.
So I want to continue and kind of talk about where this has gone since the hackathon. I mean, it was kind of, the dream is that a product goes through a hackathon and becomes something big and special.
A reality.
A reality,
Yeah.
exactly. And that, to some extent, has started. Can you tell us a little bit more about where you...
So I was very impressed with the product that they delivered in 30 hours. I showed it to my CEO and our lead engineer, and we were all in agreement that we would love to take this to the next level. So we've actually had a couple of meetings with the team, and we're looking to convert this relationship from a purely educational project to actually a more professional relationship. So we're looking to take the product that they have and actually build it out so that I can go out and get real feedback from our future customers and future investors.
Sky's the limit then.
Hopefully. I'd love to bring these girls on full time after graduation.
What would you think about that?
I would be open to that opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's the mission of Hawaii Pacific University is to interface with businesses, the community, professional associations, and this kind of interface that you've had with Hawana Medical is just invaluable. This is what we're trying to bring to the classroom, in this case through club events and the like, and the organized activity you did. You're realizing that mission right before our very eyes. I think that's a very exciting part about the education you're getting
and what you've done, the fact that you folks organized it, I think just is very exciting.
I think one thing that's amazed me is actually seeing the level of talent that actually is in Hawaii. Because, you know, when I was growing up, everyone viewed Hawaii as just a gorgeous paradise, but, you know, the people here were just too relaxed to really generate the amount of energy and ideas that you would see on the mainland. And, you know, after living in New York and Chicago and DC, to my fault, I kind of had that same idea, but coming back here and seeing what these students could do, it really opened my eyes to how Hawaii has changed over the last 10, 20 years. And I'm very impressed with the quality and professionalism of the students here.
Yeah, I think you remind me of some of the students that were working on the project. I know Derek Hahn worked to develop an app. Actually, it was a training app for S3, the
Career coach.
career
service.
coach.
Yeah.
And he actually filmed some videos of her doing her career coaching
Wow.
and put them in the app right there.
Yeah.
That was amazing. He did that in that amount of time. Haley helped, I think it was Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies,
Yeah.
clean up their website.
And they found a bug that's been, you know, putting a constraint on the website for the longest time, ever since it was built. And they actually debugged it, and now it's working seamlessly. So that was amazing to be able to do something for a nonprofit organization who does not have, you know, access to any funds. So that was very rewarding on a personal level.
And Frost City, they came in, brother-sister team, basically saying, help.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
And,
Like we need to rebrand ourselves or re-strategize. And, you know, Elizabeth Bedino, one of the MSIS students, she really took it to heart, and she made like a complete business analysis of, you know, where they're located now and where they want to be, and put up goals for them. And it was very, very cool.
Yeah, talking about the talent, it was amazing to see things pop out at the end. Whole new logos, new names, new business strategies, and technical applications to back all that up.
Talent pools are definitely increasing in Hawaii, and I've really noticed it in the startup community. We have, you know, a bunch of acceleration programs ongoing. It used to be only, you know, the Box Jelly and Startup Weekend, and now we just see so many like Blue Startups and the Startup Accelerator or Energy Accelerator, and yeah, it's really amazing to be a part of and to see this community thrive.
That reminds me, we should thank our judges also.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Our judges were so excited about being there and so inspirational. We had Jamie Champagne from Hawaiian Telcom. She also judged in the Women's Hackathon.
Yeah, she did.
She's been involved at the innovation here in Hawaii for quite some time. Nintz Faleafine, she just wants to come back and come back. She just loves these hackathons, and we love having her be a part of it.
She has a great energy.
Yep. Jonas Fabel from Energy Accelerator. Wow, what a lot of experience.
Yeah.
And for him to say that he was really impressed with what he saw, that's it. He said something like 300 projects that he's been involved in, startups. And to take part in our project, I thought was nice. And then he praised it heartily. I thought that was
very rewarding, definitely. And then we had from the county. Or
Nicole
from the
Velasco from the Neighborhood Commission.
Yeah.
She's an old tech person from way back.
From
So,
Google, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So
pretty cool.
she's always great to have and very supportive. So our judges, it was, when they came in the room, everybody just went, oh, the judges are here. It's, you know, that made it real.
But then you talk to Neens and then you relax. She has that effect on you.
Yeah. But it was pretty serious when they went back in the little room to go over all the presentations. There was some. I went back there to check on them, and there was some real deliberation going on.
I didn't have a doubt in my mind. I knew these girls would win.
Aw. Thank you.
tell me more about going forward. I mean, you guys are coming up to graduation.
Mhm.
Do you
Yes.
see
Graduating.
any kind of there are road signs ahead that you're following, or are you just going to see what happens, or do you got something in mind?
We're definitely, we have all of our opportunities open right now because that's a must when you graduate. But we've already, had initial meetings about how we're going to work with Laulima Medical, and we're all very, enthusiastic about the collaboration. And and we definitely see how this can become a valuable product. So.
It's still a good resume item too. I mean, no matter how far it goes, what you've done already is just a tremendous
Definitely.
item
And that's why I
on the
would really
resume.
like to, encourage young people to, take their life seriously sometimes and, participate in stuff like this
Yeah.
because it's just so rewarding, not
Definitely.
only on an educational level, but also like for your resume and, people or future employers are impressed with you actively seeking knowledge and seeking to learn more in your spare time. So if
Yeah.
I can give an advice to any young person or a student is to pursue events like these and try to
Definitely.
participate and make a positive impact on the community as much as possible.
And the more, well, just as Sandra was saying, the more students that get involved, the more these similar types of events and activities will be hosted and take place because once there's a greater demand for something like this, then there will be a stronger incentive for people to set them up. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys showed a lot of, I mean, there was times during the presentation when the projector crashed. And you still had to keep, I mean, I don't think it was during
Show
your
goes on.
presentation, but
Yeah.
the show had to go on.
Had to keep cool and,
Keep cool,
as in any
keep it
other
going.
context.
It's like the real world.
Yeah, it's like the real world where
Definitely.
technology is sometimes not your friend, but we try to make it so.
No, you guys did a great job. It was fun to watch.
Mhm.
And for you, any future beyond this project?
I would like to keep going to future hackathons and get the fantastic free labor that it provides. No, seriously, I would be honored to participate in future hackathons and provide them with different problems that we're facing and just see what innovations come out of it.
I want to thank you all for being here. This has been fun.
Thank you.
Thank you
I
so
hope we can hack-a-thon together again.
Yes.
Yeah, hack away.
Thank you to ThinkTech Hawaii for giving us the opportunity to be here. We certainly enjoyed it, and thank you for helping us build global connections.
Mahalo.
Aloha.